Nerdrasoft Echo, Nerdrasoft Echo 2, and Voxel have all run out of stock, and as a result, we are losing sales on all of these products. Now, that's interesting because those products are being project managed, which means that the project managers aren't really maintaining stock all that well. Now, to be fair, Nerdrasoft Echo is a little bit older, and we do have some of that in storage. I'm almost wondering if part of the problem is that we're not printing enough, or if part of the problem is that we just don't have enough couriers, because as it stands, I'm thinking that per day we can do, 288,000 copies of anything. And at the moment, we have 131,000 copies of things in storage with 2.6 million products in stock right now. A good chunk of that is FrameOS, which, that's fair enough. I am thinking we might want to look into getting a few more couriers in here, though. So that's kind of where I want to get started today. And I want to see how we're doing. If I sort by the type right here, we have a few couriers. We have a bunch of them that can come in the morning, which is not bad. I think what we'll do is hire one more courier for the morning. We will have another one come in the afternoon, and we'll have another one come in the evening, and we'll see if that works out. We'll see if that helps deal with the issues with products. It might not, but if it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll figure things out. In other news, we need more parking, so that's kind of something I would like to address pretty much right now. I'm thinking what I'm going to have to do is fill up this space with a little bit more parking. So what I would like to figure out is how exactly I'm going to get rid of this path, because as it stands right now, it's all one thing, if I'm not mistaken. So it might be slightly tricky to go in here and get rid of, well, all of that, because I don't really want to get rid of all of that, but we'll take a little bit of a look and see what we can do. If I bulldoze this part, we're totally fine. That's absolutely perfect. We'll go in, we'll build some roads across to here. I don't think I need anything else that connects. We'll just do this, we'll do this, and we'll get ourselves a little bit of vertical parking to fill up that space. Now, obviously, that's a little bit of a distance away from the building, but it saves on me having to build any kind of multi-story parking lot right now, which, I mean, let's be honest, I could. I absolutely could. We could totally put a multi-story parking lot in here. I just don't think we need it. And given that Nerdrasoft is out here in the countryside, I think they'd be trying to avoid doing a multi-story parking lot right now. I'd like to avoid that anyway, and so that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm also going to copy and paste these little garden spaces because I think they look good, and I think it's probably nice to have these guys in here. So we'll get them into those corners as well. I think this one might be too, this is actually a little bit wider than what we have elsewhere, but that's totally fine. We can probably just go in here, I suppose, get rid of those guys, and we'll just extend this out really quickly. And so hopefully that's going to help with the issues that we're having with regards to, the whole not enough parking thing. What is that? Is that another company coming to give me an offer? I think it is. I didn't know that their logos appeared on top of their vehicles as well. What company is that? Let's have a little look in here. That's Data Fover Inc. It's these guys. That's an interesting logo. What do? They have two products. Let's have a little look. They have Power Premium, and that's it. Interesting. So they're getting into the 2D editor market. That's interesting. What are they worth right now is the real question. They're not worth that much. I mean, 43 million is a lot of money, but it's very tempting. I have been thinking about getting some subsidiaries and investing in other companies, and I've seen a couple of comments talking about when I'm going to do that. I honestly don't know yet. I haven't really worked out when I want to do that, but it is something that I'd like to dive into, and I've mentioned already that I'm hoping to kind of just do everything that I can possibly do with this particular series of Software Inc. So it's going to happen. It's a matter of time until it happens. I just don't quite know when it's going to happen yet. I'm also thinking that I'm going to put, if I can, see, this is really annoying. This right here, this little gap that you have, this is for like the bus stop to exist, and this always happens on Software Inc. maps. This is where the default tile for this map was. So because that's there, I can't actually build there. If I wanted to build like a little garden thing, I have to leave that gap right there, and that's really unfortunate because I was hoping that I could fill in all this space and stop my employees from walking over the grass like this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. What I might try, just to get them to behave a little bit, is something like this. Maybe we bring some paths kind of across and see if that's going to help things out. That might get them to walk on those paths. I doubt that it will, but we're going to try our best, and we're going to see if that helps. We'll bring some paths down from these spots as well. And again, hopefully that's going to do something. I realize this should also be symmetrical because that's the main road up to the company. So let's go ahead and get that going as best we possibly can. We'll bring this straight over to there. I think this goes straight to there, and that seems fine. I guess we can do a little something here as well. We don't need it, but we'll see if that works. I'm hoping that works. I've also realized that we have a dog. Oh, that's a, first off, I mean, obvious. Oh, that is a, wow. That's, I don't know what to think of that. I'm going to be honest. That's slightly horrific. That's slightly, it's like really angry, but also high as a kite. I don't know what to make of that. I'm not going to lie. really kind of like, you're kind of adorable. You're pretty good looking. You, on the other hand, are, yeah, okay. All right, so I want to take a moment to talk about some of the comments that were left on some of the previous episodes, because there was a suggestion from the Cardiac Pack 2496 who suggested assigning some guards specifically to the awards room, and I think that's a really cool idea. So basically, we're going to create a group for this, which we're going to call the awards group, and that's totally fine. And then what we can do is go to manage staff, and we can go to sort by security, and we have a lot of security in here. I'm looking for security that's not assigned to anything. And then what we're going to do now, the suggestion was obviously to assign 2 security to this. What I'm going to try and do is assign 1 to the awards room at 8 a.m. I'm going to assign 1 to the awards room at 4 p.m. as well. So you guys are 8 until 4. That's fine. And then from 12 a.m., you are going to be assigned to the awards room, so that in theory, we should have someone on security, and it looks like we do have someone on security on that specific door, which is good. Now, having 2 people assigned to that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, and it might even be an idea to just shuffle their schedules around a little bit, so there's a little bit of overlap, so at some points during the day, there's 2 people on that door. But for now, I'm going to sort of have it this way, because my hope is that security would get there before any robbers happen to get there. I want to say that's probably unlikely, but that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. So another comment that I read that came in from Clinkinson suggested increasing the update cycles a little bit, so that the update cycles, or decreasing the update cycle, I should say, to 1, so that every month we're pushing out an update for something like Microsoft Echo, and then the update duration to 999. So essentially we are updating things forever, which I'm not 100% sure about this. I see where the idea is coming from. The theory is that frameworks will be updated because frameworks need the prototype software to be updated to be usable on newer tech levels. That way you always have an updated framework to speed up long projects like FrameOS. That's the suggestion. Also, Clinkinson mentioned they've been watching it since the Alpha 5 days. Love to see it still around. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'm going to give this a shot. I've never really tried this myself. I don't know that it's necessarily going to work, but maybe you've tried it out. Maybe it works for you. So I'm willing to try it on the Echo project. We will change this to every month pushing out an update, and we'll change this to 999. So we are basically updating things in perpetuity, which might really stress out my teams, but that's okay, because I have seen another comment, and it does make mention of how we could potentially handle updating software a little bit better. So once again, reading comments, we have no FPS or N0_FP5, no FPS, saying credit to another YouTuber for this, either Chuppy Panda or Quill18, both fantastic channels. Set up a project management that focuses on updates. Set a team, assign that team to only updates, and just add new software to get rid of old ones, and get rid of old ones, and set up for how long you want those updates. In their opinion, it's better than just doing project management for each software because it doesn't really cheat. You still do the design manually, but the post-launch is all automated. I like that as an idea, and that's something that I think would be really cool. I will say as well, I read this comment originally, the second part about not really cheating, that's a reply to their own comment. I didn't see that originally. I like that. I like that as an idea because it means that I can still go in and I can still sort of have my narrative around Space Command and Private Stabby Face, but I don't need to deal with them after the fact. I don't need to go and say, hey, let's make sure Space Command is updated. Let's make sure Private Stabby Face is updated. I can basically go into project management and say, you're not doing auto development. You're not doing sequels. You're not doing whatever. You're doing updates. You're doing updates in tech levels. You're updating every 3 months for a year or whatever. You're not doing marketing, or maybe they could. I probably won't do it, but they'd be just doing the updates and they would just do the porting. I like that a lot as an idea, and I kind of want to try it. The only thing is that to do this, we would realistically need a team that is basically just a set of jack of all trade types. So everyone needs to be able to do everything, which is maybe a little bit complicated, but I want to give this a shot because I think it might be kind of cool. Is that a thing? So hold on, let me have another look at project management and see if that's something we can do. So after release, prototype software, auto development. So we wouldn't want any of this. We need a leader for it. So for now, what I'm going to do just to try and set this up, we'll put Truman Banks in here. We'll say that this is the setup for it. That's totally fine. I'm really not too worried about this. I will just make sure that, support is doing whatever. Game devs are not doing all that. That's totally fine. Again, this is just sort of placeholder. I want to take out all of this stuff. They're not hyping. They're not doing anything in that regard. The server is going to be hosting, and we're going to do update cycles 2, and we'll do 60. All right, we'll do 60. No marketing, none of that. We'll do porting, and porting 2 can do it, which is totally fine. And we'll call this we'll just call it updates, and that should be fine. So if I create this, they are designing nothing. They are developing nothing, which is fine. Does that mean that I can then go and throw, so only sequels, use frameworks, single IP auto development? Activate this to make the leader come up with new products based on the last product released. So that's kind of cool. We want them doing updates. We want them doing porting. We just need to give them something to update and to port. Now, I think I've made a mistake here adding Space Command Origins as a prototype software, but they are updating it and they are porting it. My question is, if I now go and say, Space Command 2 or Sergeant Stabby Face, we'll sort by release dates, so it's all more recent. If I say Sergeant Stabby Face 2, for example, is going to go in here, does that mean, yeah, they're now updating it and they're also porting it? So essentially, I just want to go in and make sure that all of my recent products are added to the updates task. Now, in doing this, we probably don't want to have good old Truman Banks leading this, and we don't want the game devs working on this, but that should be fine. We also don't need a support team on this because that's not being done, and we don't need marketing because we're not doing that either. We don't need post-marketing because that's not a thing. And in fact, we don't need any of this either. We just need an update team. So this idea, actually, I'm kind of here for it, and I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have to get ourselves a team leader for, well, what we need to do is find an empty office. Let's have a little bit of a look and see what we have. We have porting team 2 over here. We have this office space on the other side. So let's take a little bit of a look and see what we got. We have 13 desks in there. We have the OS team here. Do we have any empty space that's worth looking at? And it is getting interesting that we're starting to fill this place up a little bit. And it's a lot of update teams. It's the 2 porting teams, marketing, accountants, all that stuff. It's really interesting that we're filling up these offices, but not with development teams. I want more game devs. I want to do antivirus. I want to do office software, but we're not doing any of that because we're building all these other sort of more interesting teams. So I think what we'll do is we'll go in, speaking of, interesting teams, and we'll get a new team. It's going to be the updates team, and we'll just go ahead and add that to our list. I think their color can be, I don't know, we don't have a lot of red. We'll go for like a reddish pink right there, and that'll be totally fine. So the updates team will live in this space. Just so I can see what I'm doing, we'll go ahead and make it daytime in build mode. And very simply, we're going through, we are changing all of these carpets to that sort of pinkish color, which is fine. We're changing all of these chairs to that sort of pinkish color, and the same with the leaders one in there as well. We can select both of the rooms and switch it to the updates team. And then this room is going to be limited, of course, to the updates team leader. Now, I'm realizing if I do this, it probably should be a bigger team. It probably should, or it should be multiple teams. Because realistically, these guys are going to be overworked. There's going to be a lot of work on these guys. Like a lot of work on these guys. That's going to be really interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to overdo it just yet, but we'll see how it goes. We also have insurance and investments here. I'm assuming it's because Jefferson Brooks has just retired. $1,740 payout after 20 years of the company. Oh, that's rough. That is really rough. They'll manage. It'll be okay. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me go in here and set this up first. So handle wages, handle complaints, role selection. Let's do best, then secondary. And let me give you a nice healthy budget of $2.5 million. I don't think it makes a difference, but we're going to try this. Active task specs. Your leader will automatically pick which specializations to prioritize for hiring and education based on active tasks. Okay, that's fine. We want everyone to be educated. We'll say like 5 at a time can be educated. And I'm pretty sure for updates, we don't need designers or artists. So we can just say 13 programmers. And I guess the way we'll do this is everything except hardware is what we're looking for. So systems, 2D, 3D, audio, network. Hopefully we get a nice spread of all of that. And of course, we're going to go for high salaries, so they're decent. I want fast learners. I don't want slow eaters. I don't want people that go to the bathroom a lot. I don't really want slow walkers. And I don't want people that call in sick a lot of the time either. So we'll go for that. That should be totally fine. We can go and hire ourselves a new employee. It's going to be a leader and a programmer. We kind of need HR. We probably want multitasking. Socialization is less important. We'll begin looking, and you're going to be going to the updates team. So you're going to go in here. We're going to sort by skill, and we have Odell Hampton. Oh, look at him. He's 60 years old though, so he's going to retire in 4 years. I love the look that's going on here, but unfortunately, I'm not interested in hiring someone that's going to be retiring in 4 years. That's really unfortunate, but that's just how it's going to be. So Alden West, you are hired. Congratulations. We will go and make you the team leader, and then everything else is going to be secondary, which is totally fine. So we'll see how that goes. In theory, we should now be able to, oh, wait a minute. We need an updates project leader as well. Before I get too carried away, we do need an updates project leader. So how do I want to do that? I don't think, unfortunately, I've also completely forgotten who we just hired. It was Alden, right? Was the new one, I believe. So we might have to wait for that one. We'll go into options. We'll go to Truman Banks. And I don't know if Alden is technically hired at the company just yet. There he is. All right. So you're in here. That's good. Let's have a look again. Can I set you as the, I apparently can't. Okay. Interesting. That's totally fine. I realize you, oh, wait a minute. Wait, what skills? Hold on. Let me have a look at my employees very quickly. I need to, hold on. So if I look at my leadership skills, I have automation, right? I need automation. I don't think Alden can do it. Is that what's going on? Can Alden not do what I need him to be able to do? No, he can't. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's really unfortunate. Wait, no, Alden doesn't need to. Alden's the update team leader. Okay, yeah, no, I was going to say Alden can do both, but no, we're actually totally fine. And we have some people on the updates team coming in. Yeah, that is actually totally fine. I just completely got myself worked up over absolutely nothing. That's okay. We don't have any space left for more management people though, which is deeply unfortunate. So what I think we're going to do is start bringing in some management guys in the evening. So we'll sort by name here. We'll go to management voxel. We will go ahead and rename it so I can copy it. And then we'll just copy the team over and it'll be management for updates. And that means that Fabian Hopkins is now going to be managing this whole thing. So we can go in and take the game devs out of the development tasks right here. We can go to update teams and say that the update team is going to be dealing with the updates, which should keep us good. And then what I need to do is go to this office, which is the Echo office. We are going to say that management updates will work in here as well. And then management updates is going to be working from, let's say 5 p.m. until 1 a.m. so that they're coming in later in the day. Everything should be fine. It means that that one office is, got a bit of a night shift, but that's okay. In theory, with this all done, we should now be in a spot where this team, this little project, the updates project, is exclusively working on updating existing software, which should mean that I don't need to do it as long as I remember to add that software to the update cycle and to the updates project. That feels like it was a lot of work for not a lot of outcome, but that does mean that I don't have to worry about it, which is good. I already sort of don't need to worry about it because in theory, these other projects will be updating Echo, Pixel, and Voxel on their own, but this can be used for things like FrameOS. This can be used for things like Space Command and Private Stabby Face. And it also means that in theory, if I forget to port something to FrameOS, which I know I've seen the comments, I totally forgot to put things on FrameOS, which is why people aren't buying it. I'm an idiot. I know. I'm well aware. We can kind of deal with it ourselves, which is totally fine. So what I think we'll do, I don't know if Nerdsoft Echo 2 is being updated anymore by this project. It is still being marketed, which is fair enough, I guess. That's fine. It is still being supported, which is fine. But I'm kind of wondering if we want to go in and say that maybe these projects don't manage the updates and instead I give it to the update team. That would take a bit of a load off the actual, development teams themselves. But I think we'll leave it be for now because I don't want to mess this up. But what I would like to do is go in here and I would like to add FrameOS to this as well. It's not the only existing product though, so I want Stabby Face 2 to be in there because I think that's important. Space Command 3, the original Stabby Face. I don't know if we need to worry too much about those, but we'll have FrameOS in there. We'll have Stabby Face 2 in there. That'll be fine. We're also working in Space Command Origins, and they are now working on a FrameOS update. So, in theory, this should mean that I don't need to worry about all that. In theory, I've just automated another part of the game that I don't know, man. I've seen the comments talking about the fact that, oh, wow. Okay, that's a couple more retirees. I have seen the comments talking about the fact that the game does seem to get really easy towards the end. And it's not that it necessarily gets easy. It does, but there's definitely a hint of the game starting to play itself, which always kind of sucks, but it's kind of the goal as well. Nerdsoft Echo 3 getting a beautiful Best Product Award, which should mean that the best designer is, of course, me. Every single time. You love to see it. All right. So now that we have that, let's go. I love that we have security outside this office. That's such a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, but there we go. We're getting somewhere. We're gonna refill this entire room is what we're gonna do. I did see another suggestion, by the way, which wasn't put security outside of the door. It was delete the door until you need it, which I'm gonna be honest, that's my next step. If this security thing doesn't work, I'm deleting the door. It's gonna happen. Anyway, these cooks keep complaining about not having any fridges, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm really tempted to just get rid of this. I love this. I love that this is a thing, but I'm really tempted to get rid of it just solely because I think it would probably make more sense for the cooks to just have another fridge or 3 and walk the food into the canteen. I don't know that this is necessary right now, and I'm really sick of that complaint about there not being enough fridges. What I might do, just for now, is that. So you can stop your complaining. You can use that fridge. You can make more food, and it's just going to sit on the conveyor belts until whenever. Oh, this is a really good time to address another comment. There's a few people mentioned the fact that all my employees go on vacation at the same time. You're right. They do, because all of my teams are set, July to August for their vacation times. What I'm thinking we can do is one of two things. We can either spread it out, or we could just give them a full, 12-month vacation range. I might just do that, because that way, it's just spread out throughout the year. They're only going away for a month anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. They should own, wait a minute. Vacations are spread out among employees. Okay. All right. The actual length of the vacation is determined by employee benefits. Yeah. So they're only going away for a month, but now they can go away at any point during the year. Oh, wow. We just released Pixel 4. I forgot about this. Is it any good? It's outstanding. It's inspiring. It has prominent marketing. There are none in stock, which is fine. We'll start printing it because of course we will. Let's say 150,000 copies in stock seems like a fair bet. We'll order some copies as well, just to be sure that we're all right. And in theory, because we're doing that, now Voxel's it's designing Voxel 3. Let me have a look here. You guys are supporting marketing and hyping. That's fine. You guys are supposed to be updating. You guys are supposed to be handling all of this as well. Porting Team 1 should be porting it. It is outstanding. Pixel 3 was also outstanding, which is good. Pixel 3 also made $73 million. It is actually not that high up in, terms of how much money we make. But you know what? Pixel 4 out this year, a couple of months after Voxel 2. I don't mind it. I really don't. We've had a really good run of releases. Voxel 2 not making that much money, but I mean, it's only been a couple of months. It did 5 million last month. So you know what? I'll shut up and just let the game kind of run and do its own thing. I'm really curious to see if we can do some good things here. Obviously, bit of research going on. Got some porting going on. Space Command 4 and Private Stabby Face coming along as well. I'm hoping for good things. And I'm thinking that we do still have this space available. That's actually our only remaining development space. Oh, no, we have this one as well. Okay, so we technically have room for 2 more teams. Do I want to project manage another task? I'm thinking that I might start it without project management and then go into project management. Specifically, what I'm thinking is I want to start working on either office software, which needs a bit of a bigger team than I thought it might. I'd like to do everything I can possibly do with it as well. So systems and audio playback and networking, I think that'd be cool. My other thinking was antivirus. I think that would be nice because it's something we can easily churn out. It's something we can kind of keeping on with. So I might do an antivirus software. And ages ago, there was a suggestion, and I think I've mentioned this before, to name things after things from The Sims, such as naming something Plumbob, which is like the little diamondy thing above Sims' heads. Given that it's the 25th anniversary of The Sims recently, why don't we, I mean, it doesn't really make sense that it's an antivirus software, but why don't we just do, Plumbob, the antivirus software? It doesn't really make sense, but I like The Sims. Sims 1 just got a re-release, which I really want to play. Don't know if it will, probably will. Maybe not on the channel, but we'll see. And I think what we'll do with this is we'll give it an interface, we'll give it networking, and we'll build a team around what this needs. So we'll do file encryption, we'll do malware alerts, we'll do password management. That seems fun. We'll do, let's see, port blocking, and we'll do an ad blocker, which is actually a lot of wasted interest now that I think about it. So we're not going to do the ad blocker. We'll do IP filtering. We'll do anti-spam. 8% wasted interest. That's a little better. If I manage this properly, that'll be 2% wasted interest. It is 9 designers. It is, oh wait, no, this is what I need on the right. That's how many I have on the left. Okay. Suddenly this is going to be really easy. We need 3 designers. We need 4 programmers. We need 1 artist. It is going to be, let's say, $60. I could make it subscription based. We haven't done anything subscription based yet, and usually it doesn't make a whole ton of money, but I like the idea of trying it, honestly. Just with an antivirus software, that seems like that's usually the thing, right? You sign up to an antivirus software and then you can never not sign up to it. Let's give it a shot. We'll do a new framework. I don't know. What do we want to call it? The thing is called Plumbob. The engine, the Sul. That's like the thing Sims say, right? Is that hello or is that goodbye? I think that's goodbye. No, I think that's hello. I don't remember. I don't remember. It's been a minute since I played The Sims. I don't know Simlish. I do know that one of my favorite bands, Trivium, did do a song on the metal channel in The Sims 4, and it is fully in Simlish. That's interesting. That's something you might not have known. Anyway, that's fine. It's totally fine. 2D editor in this case. Pixel 4 annoyingly doesn't have the tech level that I would want. Do I want to go for someone else's thing, or do I want to wait for it to be updated? Annoyingly, Pixel 3 has 2002 tech. That's interesting. I'm going to go for Pixel 4. It is a bit of a lower tech level, but we can update it, I'm sure, and everything will be fine. For operating systems, active users, let's go for this, and Frame OS. I remembered this time, which is good. And let's have a look at the market. So this is current market saturation. It's actually really, really even, which is good. If we apply this, that's whatever. If we auto balance, we get 98%. I did my math wrong before, didn't I? Okay, that's fine. Let's add a file scanner to the mix. Anti-theft, hacking alerts. Is there anything I can add to this that's going to give me a better balance? That's a bit of a better balance. Okay, we'll do that. That's 100% interest, 4% wasted. That's totally fine. I don't want to give it to the game devs because that seems silly, and I'm not going to give it to them there either. So what do we need? We need 4 designers, and this is all system, 2D, and networking. So if I minimize this, we're going to use this space in here. This room has 11 plus the leader. In fact, you know what? Let's create the team right now. So this is the antivirus team. We'll get it added. The team color, because we have a lot of green going on, let's give them like a nice sort of purpley kind of bluish color. I think that's quite nice. And of course, as is tradition, we have to update the carpets and we have to update the chairs. And I realize as I'm doing this, this would have been the one team that it made sense to have like green for their color, given that they're designing Plumbob, which is typically green if you know your Sims. But alas, I'm an idiot, so I've decided not to do that. Let me therefore go back in here. Let me assign this to the antivirus team right there and to the antivirus team right there. We'll minimize this again. And actually, no, I want to look at it again. So we need 4 designers, 6 programmers is 10, and 1 artist is 11, which is exactly how many desks we have. Okay, that number might fluctuate though. So I think what we'll do for the team itself is go to HR management. We'll do all the usual stuff. We'll give them $3 million because we can. Let's say best and secondary. So we're going to hire people for what they're good at, and then we're going to let them kind of do something else. So I believe it was 4, it was 6, and it was 1. Specializations in this case are going to be, I believe it was systems, 2D, and networking. And then for traits, I want fast learners. I don't want people that are going to sort of slow us down a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. That should be all right. We want to go for high salaries. And hopefully this will work. Hopefully this will be okay. That's the HR for the antivirus team. We just need to hire someone to run it. We want HR management, obviously. We probably don't need automation because the team leaders are not the project managers, so we will do multitasking instead because they might end up with a multitude of tasks if we do project manage the Plumbob project. So we want a leader, secondary in programming, begin looking, sort by skill, and we'll go and get them on the antivirus team. So Joan Saunders, HR and multitasking is solid. Let's bring you into the team. We'll go over and get you set up as the team leader. And I think that's all you're going to do. That's completely fine. So with that done, we, I think, have some people on this team. Is that what's going on? Yeah, antivirus is there. That's fine. Is anyone actually good at it? You are good at it. That's great. Creativity is anywhere from 60 to 97. You know what? Ulysses Crane, congratulations. You can head that up. We're missing a systems programmer. I'm sure we'll manage, and I'm sure quite large for a project of this size. Yeah, we'll be okay. We'll manage. Let's continue, and they'll hopefully get that done. Let's move Plumbob up to the top right about there, so I can see it going. And hopefully they get in here, and hopefully they do a good job, and hopefully Plumbob ends up being an amazing success. If it isn't, I'm gonna be really disappointed, but here's hoping. Here's hoping for some good things. Now, how are we doing for releases? Pixel 4, 1.2 million, that's a little disappointing. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Looking at Pixel 4, it is being updated, and it is being ported. So hopefully that can sort of turn things around a little bit. That's also across a nice little spread of teams right there, which is great news. You got support doing it, marketing doing it, 2D editors porting and marketing. So all good on that front. Was there by any chance another 2D editor released recently? There was one released in May. So 2 months ago, it made 6 million in profits. There was one released back in December, 12 million in profits. So it's maybe not competitors that are the problem. It might just be that maybe it just wasn't, any better than the last one or something. I don't know. The market might just not be interested in Pixel 4 right now. Hopefully they are, but we'll have to wait and see. Although I will say royalties are doing wonders for us. We did 19.5 million in sales last month, 12.1 million in royalties alone. So if we have a look at research and have a look at systems, we have done $121 million off of 2003 systems research. We've done nothing in 2005 yet. No one else has touched 2005 systems technology. So needless to say, I think you can have a pretty profitable company if you manage to do research and patent things. I'm definitely enjoying that little detail. That's quite fun. I'm also thinking, I want to look at my servers. So the hosting server right now is at 8.7% on its load. I want to do something with that. I want to go and start taking some deals because we have got some hosting deals in here. We have this one, which is 89 cents per megabyte per hour. I think we can take that and put it on hosting. I think I'm going to take it and put it on hosting. I think you, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on hosting. And I'm curious to see what that does for the hosting server. It's up to 9.1%. There's 9 processes on it. I'm curious to see if we make money off of this. I don't really know how that's necessarily going to go, but I would imagine we can make some money here. I'm kind of curious to see if it does. Is there a deals section in here? Yeah, deals $0. If we look at this as we go into October, deals is now $10,000. It's really not that much, but that's okay. We did 20.7 million on sales, 13.5 million on royalties. That's ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. Just how much money. 135 million. And it's only going to keep going. I mean, like I said, we're doing pretty well on the we're doing pretty well on the patents there. Buses are still filling up. Really? I just don't think anyone wants to park down here. I think that's kind of the problem. No, it's too far away. And I really don't want to build a multi-story thing in here because I think it might look silly. Although, now that I think about it, maybe we could make it look cool. Hold on. I might be able to do a little something here. If I go and get myself some vertical parking and I go upstairs like this, if I build it to about there and I go over this way and I build it to about there, are they kind of in line? Yeah, sort of. Could I maybe just bulldoze this part and bulldoze this part and somehow turn that into a ramp? Not like that. That's it's not quite what I'm looking for. Let me redo that. Get rid of you and build a ramp. All right. Okay, that might work. So build a ramp there as well, and that's more parking. And it doesn't look terrible. It's not really blocking the building, right? And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't want something that's going to block the building. So yeah, that might make my employees a little bit happier, which is good. That's kind of what we want, is them to be a little bit happier and not having to walk 2 miles to get to work when they park their car. Now back to the research thing. I don't think we're going to manage to research Systems 2006, unfortunately. It's just not going to happen in time unless we maybe expand the team or something. So we'll probably cancel this research task as soon as January ticks over, and then we can try to lock in Systems 2007. I think we're just going to be getting systems every other year, unless I get a secondary research team, which I'm tempted to do, man. I'm really tempted to do. My systems research team is where? Here? Do I want to get a 24-hour thing going for systems research? Is that excessive? It really might be, but at the same time, it might mean I do it really quickly. So you know what? We're gonna, oh man, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be systems research. We're gonna do 2 teams for now. We'll do systems research day and systems research night. We could get this to be a 24-hour thing. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna do systems research night, which is fine. And they are going to be coming in from good old 5 p.m. until 1 a.m. I'm sure they're going to be thrilled about it. Then what we can do is assign them to this room as we usually do. So that should, I did not do that properly. Let's just do that again really quickly. Systems research. There we go. And then I just need to get people to work on the team is what I'm looking for. So let's hire somebody to lead it, lead and programming, HR multitasking. Sure. That's, well, they don't really need multitasking, do they? Because they're probably not going to be researching multiple things at once. So we'll do HR and socialization. I don't love the idea that they're going to go to meetings, but it will help the team a little bit. We'll sort by you, 48 years old. You're pretty solid. So you're going to go to that night shift, and we'll get you to be the team leader. So there you go. That's that sorted out. So you should start filling your team, which you absolutely are. We'll go down to here. We'll get the systems research night shift working on it. I don't think they're going to come in today, but that's honestly totally fine. It's not the end of the world. My hope is that bringing these guys in will, I doubt we're going to get this done, which is really unfortunate, but I might let the task just continue just to see if we can pull it off. And it looks like some of them actually did come in, which is amazing. They're not very good right now because there's like 3 people working, but that's fine. I also feel like the team leader, now that I think about it, on this team, you probably should be doing something, right? Like secondary programming. I don't really care what you do, but you're not sitting there doing, no, you're gonna do nothing. Okay, well, fair enough. You can sit there and you manage the team, buddy. That's fine. that's totally okay by me. You do what you got to do. Just make sure you have some employees so that we can get this research done. And actually looking at this, I think we might be able to sit on this. I think we might be able to get 2006 and 2007. It depends how the lawyers do, but I'm feeling a little confident. I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling a sort of way about this that I think we might be able to pull it off. We also have more hosting, which is great. So we'll bring that in and see how it goes. Let's make sure the server's not being overwhelmed. Absolutely, totally fine, which is great. And if we look into our finances, we're doing 38,000 on deals, which is great. Down to 9 million on royalties, but still 20 million on sales. If we have a look at Pixel 4 kind of flopped, huh? That's a shame. It's outstanding and it's inspiring, but it just hasn't really sold. That's a shame. Frame OS is also kind of miserable. Not really thrilled about that one, but you know what? It'll be all right. This is also a problem. Fabian Hopkins is kind of letting down the effectiveness of this task, which might be because they work nights. That's definitely a possibility. We do have some updates kind of going along though, which is good. That Frame OS update is nearly, it's nearly done, which is something. Oh, that's concerning. Can you get your effectiveness up there a little bit? There you go. That's what we're looking for. That's a little bit better. Oh yeah, this research is gonna be totally fine. It's gonna be frustrating that we have to do two things at once for this, but it should be fine. Systems, 2007, 166 million off of that is ridiculous. Let's, can I not research this? Can I only research one thing at a time? Is that a thing? Oh dear. Okay, we might, okay. That's got me feeling a sort of a certain kind of way about it, but this research is finished, which is good. So we'll get this. I've also seen some comments saying to take the accountants off of this task, so we'll give that a shot. We'll go back into research, we'll go into systems, and we'll start working on, yeah, you can only do one at a time. Okay. They should be able to manage this, which is good. And that patent is going actually quite quickly, which is amazing news. So I think we have a little thing going here. I think we might be able to research systems just in perpetuity, and we're just going to get so much money off of royalties. We also passed the fire inspection, so it's a good day for Nerdrasoft. Well, this is a problem, but other than that, it's a good day for Nerdrasoft, except for Echo 2 running out of stock. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's a good day for Nerdrasoft. Oh, now this is interesting. So obviously Nexus 2, we probably want to start working on Nexus 3. There's another store called Point Nexus. What? I'm sorry? We're not selling our stuff there. We're not doing it. They're taking a 20% cut first off. Yes, they have 28.3% of the market, but they're called Point Nexus. No, absolutely not. No. We're just going to start working on Nexus 3 now is what we're going to do. The teams for this can be, honestly, probably just the operating system team can do this. There's probably too many of them for that to really make too much sense, but that's fine. We'll get them sort of doing it. Product name is just going to be Nexus 3. That's fine for the servers. I am just going to put everything on this. Well, we can't do, tech level 2005 is needed for that. And then, okay, we're going to do everything that we can do for now. We will need to make a Nexus 4 at some point, and then Nexus 5 for remote streaming. That's honestly okay. It's not the end of the world. We're just going to get everything on this. Less than a year is great. We'll start working on it, and that's hopefully not going to take too long for the operating system team to figure out. The good news is that they're designing it, so while the programmers work on the programming for FrameOS 2, these guys can design Nexus 3. And that reminds me, we should probably start marketing FrameOS 2. So FrameOS was June 2004. It is February 2007. I don't think we're going to get June 2004, but I'm tempted to say that we aim for January 2008 for FrameOS 2. Unless there's something else coming out in that window. So let's see. December is 3D editor, FPS game. Do we have any operating systems coming out this year? A phone operating system. And then next year in May, there's none. In November, there's none. Computer in December 2008. Yeah, let's do January 2008 for FrameOS 2. That seems, in fact, let's do February 2008. So exactly a year from now, we're going to put this thing out. And for marketing, we'll do, I don't know. I don't know who we want to throw at this. I want to double check who my marketing teams are here. So marketing 1, marketing 2. That's fine. In here is marketing 2. There is a problem though. Some options are unavailable as the project leader has limited points in automation. Really? That would explain potentially why Pixel's having some problems. Leela Green is not very good at automation. That's deeply concerning, but I can educate you, right? That is an option? Yeah, so you can now do this. And you can now, I mean, you don't need to do anything else. We'll just give you socialization. That's fine. So in theory, if I reopen this, Leela Green should get educated and should be able to handle this. Okay. I hadn't paid attention to that, but yeah, that should get sorted out. That'll be totally fine. Okay. So marketing 2 is working on that. Voxel is marketing 1, marketing 2, and updates is obviously nobody. So we'll market this the way we usually do. We will throw marketing 3 at this because they don't seem to be doing anything. And that'll be totally fine. We will get some hype going on. And we'll give that to marketing 3 as well. Because, again, that's something we need to be doing. And I'm not going to send out any press builds until we're a little bit further along. We will have sort of a long trail for marketing on this one. And that's something I've seen in the comments, people talking about needing to market things a little bit better. So we're going to give this a shot. Basically a year-ish in beta is going to be good for it. And we'll just see how it goes. We'll just see what happens. Plum Bob coming along really nicely. Research is doing fine. Nexus is doing fine. The patents are doing fine. Hopefully we get all of this. There's no competitors looking for this patent right now, which is great news. I don't know if anyone else is working on 2007 research at the moment. No, these guys are looking for 2005. We've also started making money off of the 2005 one as well. 9 million right there is kind of amazing. So that's going to be good. That's going to be more money. That's got me really excited. We're doing 9 million in royalties right there. So this is going to be a good time. It's going to be a really, really good time. I'm also thinking Frame OS is doing so badly that I might genuinely just stop marketing it, which really sucks. I really don't like that I might have to just stop marketing it, but I might have to just stop marketing it. That's really unfortunate. I also wonder if maybe Fabian is so bad with their effectiveness because, like, does Fabian like working nights? Is that maybe what's going on here? If we look at updates, go to employees and go to Fabian. Do you like working nights? You like a skyscraper. Okay, the other teams are distracting you. That's presumably because you're in the same office as somebody else. Do I really have to give you your own office? Is that really what's going on here? Where can I give you is the real question. I don't want to have to get rid of some canteens because that's the thing. I might have to get rid of some lounges as well. Maybe we do that. Maybe I get rid of, I don't know. Well, no, I can't get rid of that because that's printing. So what is this? This room is the same as this room, which is printing, is the same as this room, which is printing, and it's the server room over there. Okay. I might have to get rid of this lounge and mirror these offices. And I think just for the sake of trying to make this more effective, that's what I'm going to do. So this is going to be limited to leaders instead of lounge. And we'll just go in here and get ourselves a wall right down the middle. I think that's fine. Yeah, that seems fine. And then I just have to make this a mirror image, which, again, totally fine. We can do that. And there we go. We have ourselves an office for the updates management thing, which is great. Hopefully that's going to cheer them up a little bit, make them a bit more effective. And also them working now during the day means that they're in at the same time as the teams that they're managing. So all in all, I'm hoping for some good things. I'm not too sure that they're going to be thrilled about maybe having to come in so early in the morning now, but it should be all right. And it should be totally fine. We will absolutely see what ends up happening here. I'm curious to see, are they actually coming in this early? And they absolutely are. Okay, that's good. All right, Fabian, good job. You keep that up. Hopefully you get better at this whole project management thing because you're kind of doing terribly at it right now. but you haven't made any mistakes yet. So there is that. That is, that is progress at the very least. Wow. That is awful. Pixel 4 genuinely has kind of flopped. We only made 7 million on sales last month as well. That is actually kind of terrible. We made more on royalties. Oh, no, we didn't. We nearly made more on royalties than we did on sales. That's really concerning. Now, there is some good news. Leela Green just got back from education. So in theory, the Pixel project is having trouble. But yes, we are now able to do all of this stuff for Pixel. So hopefully that will pick up a little bit. I guess post-marketing wasn't being done for it, which I guess kind of makes sense. So we'll see if maybe things improve a little bit there. I'm definitely hoping that they do. I would like to have a look at some of my leaders, though, because I'm realizing that quite a few of them actually have got some stuff that they can be educated in. There's some points available. So for someone like the accounting team leader, I think we want to do socialization so they can have meetings, and we'll just do this to improve their effectiveness. For marketing, similar story. We probably don't need to do anything with automation. We'll just do socialization. For you, probably a similar story. This is support 1, so we'll just do multitasking, and I'm really not interested in educating you in anything else. Marketing 2, we can do HR management. You can handle hiring, that's important. And then multitasking will be everything else, which is all right. 3D editing team, we'll do, you got 2 points available. Multitasking, that's going to improve effectiveness with support and marketing. That's with development tasks. I'm going to say meetings. I don't love the idea that they're all going to be doing meetings, but I do think meetings boost team compatibility / morale. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what we're going to go for here. And we're kind of going to just do that across the board. So we'll have this. Not really interested in everything else, to be totally honest with you. Truman Banks is a project manager. So I really don't need you doing too much, but we'll have you do multitasking, I guess. I didn't realize how many team leaders I had in here. That's kind of wild. Let's give you HR, because that's something you apparently don't have. That's got me deeply concerned. And you can have socialization, and that should be fine. All of my leaders are now sorted out. A lot of these guys have got education available, but as long as my leaders are able to lead properly, I'm really not too concerned about it. In other news, Research 2007 is almost done. The patent is about halfway done for last year. So my legal teams might be a little bit busy if that research, well, when that research gets done. But that research getting done so quickly is kind of fantastic news. That's really, really good news, actually. So that's got me all sorts of happy right there. Let's get this thing going. The legal team, unfortunately, going to be really, really swamped with that one. So we'll have them just prioritize the 2006 patent and then slowly work on the 2007. No one is working to get those right now, so we should be totally fine, which is great. Another company has finished researching systems before you could patent it. Really? Someone else just managed to research Systems 2006. That is really disappointing. That's really disappointing. That's, okay. Well, we were nice and quick with 2007. So my legal team can just work on that one, and hopefully that won't take too long to figure out. In other news, Plumbob, it's coming along nicely. Space Command, Stabby Face, all coming along nicely as well. I did see a suggestion that the engine for Private Stabby Face should have been something like Stabvest. I thought that was really good. Like I've said it before, man. You are all infinitely more creative than I am when it comes to these names, and I do really appreciate it. We have been nominated for some awards. Best product, Pixel 4, apparently. Okay, best designer, presumably. Oh, interesting. Okay, and the most profitable product was Voxel 2. Okay, I wasn't expecting Pixel 4 to get best product, given that it sold so badly. But that might be because we didn't really do any post-marketing or post-support. So hopefully it picks up. I kind of have my doubts that it'll pick up. But if we have a look in here, we are supporting it at least. We are marketing it. We are updating it. So maybe the update, maybe that'll help. I don't know. I don't know that will necessarily do anything for it at this point, but we'll find out together is what we'll do. Hopefully they get that done sooner than later. At the very least, the updates team is staying on top of all of this really nicely, which is great. They might genuinely just have too much to do is kind of what I'm thinking. I might slow this down so the update cycle is every 3 months instead. This FrameOS thing is good to go as well. They are doing so badly for project management. That has got me really concerned. I'd also like to look and see how this is going. So these updates don't seem to be stressing anybody out all that much, which is great. So we have that going for us. Nerdosoft Echo 4 is aiming for June of 2008. Pixel 5, October 2008, and Voxel 3, July of 2008. So this year is going to be a little bit quiet for releases from Nerdosoft. I don't think we're going to have anything going out. Actually, we don't have anything going out this year. But next year is obviously FrameOS 2, and then all of these guys. And these guys might release a little bit earlier. Usually project management, it'll estimate, June, and then it'll be like a February, March kind of thing. So that's going to be good. And then I would assume 2009 will be Plumb Bob, Space Command 4, and Private Stabby Face. So we have a couple of really good years ahead of us, which I am very, very excited about. Pixel 4 picked up. 624,000 is good. That is a lot more than it was doing previously. So hopefully marketing can kind of figure that out and get us into a good place with it. But we are very, very close to having our royalties be the same as our sales. So if we can stay on top of that, we'll be in a good place. 55 million off of 2005 systems tech is pretty decent. That should continue. The legal guys, competitors aiming for Q3 2009. We should have this done next year. We should be all right on that tech. But you know what? I think that's going to do us for today. These last few episodes have been so much longer than they need to be. The building episode was fine, but this one, there's no reason that this episode needs to be as long as it's been here. I do apologize if I'm rambling a little bit, but I'm really enjoying it, man. I think Nerdosoft, this is one of the better runs of Nerdosoft that I think we've had. There's still so much to do as well. So I think in the next episode or two, at some point in the near future, we definitely need to sit down and start, building the warehouse out here, which, to be fair, that's not going to be a super detailed build. It really is just going to be a warehouse. So we'll probably, build it in this space, which I think we can do, right? Yeah, there's a nice rectangle in there that we can use. We can build some parking in this space. We'll maybe, well, actually, now that I think about it, a lot of our support teams, so the update guys, the support teams themselves, maybe marketing as well, the porting guys, for sure, they could probably move into the upstairs of the warehouse. And then the lower floor can be for product printing and also just general manufacturing. So we can build a warehouse out here. We'll build some parking out here. And then we'll have the primary development teams in the main building. So that means that we can go through and clear out some of these office spaces and start making more teams for things like, well, office software and other games as well. We do need a hardware development team. So they might end up in the warehouse now that I think about it, but I think a hardware development team, they deserve to be in the main building. I'm not saying that the support guys deserve to be out in the warehouse, but they're going to be, because that's where I'm going to put them. That's just where they're going to be. That's just how that's going to go. Anyway, that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.